How is it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and welcome to today's update news video for World of Tanks. We've got some really good information about the upcoming maps. We've also got a lot of information regarding the bug fixes and the extra changes that we will be getting to World of Tanks console for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, and we'll get into that now. So, first things first, the return of 4 updated maps. So we have plenty of new maps coming into the game. I say new, but they're basically just revamped old maps that we had previously. Now, the maps themselves are as follows. First things first, we have Dukla Pass. So this is a map that was, I believe, a console exclusive to the game, so this is not available on World of Tanks PC, and I don't believe it's available on World of Tanks Blitz, which means that yes, this is only for us on console. Dukla Pass is going to be a Cold War and World War II map, which means that both eras and tiers can play on this map. The mode will be available from tiers 5 to 10 on World War II and through all eras on Cold War. This map is actually one of my, it's a map that is somewhat good, but for certain tank classes it is a little bit tedious. I think heavies have a good time with regards to this map in terms of going a particular side. Obviously I will try and make a video on each of the maps as they get released. Kind of looks like the map that we already have in the game, but yeah, certainly a map that I do enjoy playing, and I'm sure many of you will actually enjoy playing when we get onto the game. This is what the map looks like in terms of the graphical, I guess, or bird's eye view of the map itself. Traditionally, heavy tanks will go down into this spot here, and this is where the fighting usually occurs. We have Team 1 and Team 2 corner here, so both the flags usually be here. I think there is an assault game mode where you have to get the cap circle, which is over here somewhere, and both teams spawn either side of this. This area here is a hill, and so there's a lot of fighting that goes on in the assault game mode that was previously on the game. I don't know whether it's going to be on the game or encounter, it might have been even, but basically two sides spawn here, and then you just end up with a massive brawl here, and then occasionally you get the odd person that goes over to the right hand side to be able to actually get the cap on the objective. It might even be in the middle of the map, I'm not entirely sure. But here we go. This is the map. The heavies go this way. Traditionally, this is where they meet. They go from this side over to here, and from this side they go down here. Mediums tend to go probably over onto this side, fighting on this hill area. There's a spot right here on the map in between this kind of two black splodges here. This is where a lot of tank destroyers and medium tanks and light tanks at the beginning of the game from this spawn will move up into this position to get view range on people that cross over here. This is a particularly great spot, and you can have some good impact from here, and then you can decide what you want to do for the rest of the game, because you can always retreat and go down onto the right side to help out your team, or if you alternatively see that not very many people have moved over onto the left side, you could progress over here or potentially move up onto the opponent's side of the map if you really wanted to. Of course, it is completely down to you, and of course this map may change now that a lot of the veteran players have left, and the meta may change and it might become slightly different. But yeah, I'll certainly be playing it like I used to before update 6.0 and the removal of the map. Secondly, we have Heilbronn. Really nice kind of hilly map. It's really good for medium tanks, as with Dukla Pass. Both of them are fantastic medium tank games. Same as light tanks, they do really well on both of the maps because you have such a massive area to be able to play with and move about in. Definitely a map that I do enjoy playing. Heilbronn, similar to Dukla Pass. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting area. There is a town area where a lot of the heavies will move. The spawn points are here on the map, or they were before. I don't know what they'll do with the spawn points as of this update, but they're basically here is the spawn A and spawn B is up here. I don't know whether that's spawn A or spawn B, I can't remember exactly, but basically both of the spawns are one here and one down here, and then you get this kind of fighting on this hill whereby both teams pretty much progress into this center ridge which plays in this area here. This is kind of the center of the map and where most of the fighting goes on. If you push up past this area from this side, often there's TDs that camp on this hill and this hill here, and you basically don't want to be doing that. Heavy tanks go down into this area and TDs tend to camp up here. Usually there isn't too much moving from TDs, to be honest with you, on this map, unless they've got a turret, essentially. Non-turreted TDs tend to camp at the back, and yeah, they tend to get rubbished on by artillery, who, if they are in the game, will basically focus the hill area where most people camp, and they're not going to be moving very much. So yeah, these are the areas where the campers usually are. But yeah, definitely a decent map. I don't know if there's any screenshots of that area in the center that I can kind of showcase. The main area is kind of over this brow of this hill. It's kind of, you can't really see it in that picture, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of here is where this main area on the map is, this area over here where this hill is, but you can't see it properly. That's spawn A, and the other spawn's like somewhere over here that you can't quite see on this picture. But yeah, that is Heilbronn. Fantastic map. Looking forward to having it back in the game. Going to make medium tanks feel a little bit nicer to play now, because you've got a lot more room to be moving. And then the third map, another really great one for medium tanks. It is my favourite map in the game, regardless of anything that is currently or was in the game previously. It's Redshire. This is an absolute amazing map, one of my favourites. It's got everything that you could possibly need in a map. Definitely one of my favourites, if not my favourite. Well, it is my favourite, 100%. This one is basically a map whereby it's quite open for the majority of the map. There's these big areas that are basically, they're not particularly used very much. These areas up in the back and up here, except from the TDs that tend to camp up here to be able to get shots on people that progress. A lot of the heavy tanks will go this right hand side. If you've played World of Tanks PC, you will know this map as being the one with the crashed aircraft or carrier or whatever it is. I think it might even be a blimp that's kind of crashed over on this side in this little ravine canyony bit. On console, I don't believe we're going to be getting that. Whether or not we'll get a slightly changed area of the map when it comes in, not entirely sure. It's going to be really, really nice to see it in the game. It's available from tiers 5 to 10, so you won't be able to play it from tiers 3 to 5. Which is good, since it is quite a massive map, and you'll probably end up with a lot of problems with the outspotting mechanics of people that just, spam all of the equipment at tier 3s on a map like this. Would just be outrageous. Definitely a map I enjoy. Definitely think that these maps are actually the best map package as a whole altogether that we've had in a long, long time, and I don't think you'll probably get a map package that is just so good as this one that we're getting in the upcoming update. If I haven't already mentioned, the update will be coming on September 28th, so I think we've got 2 weeks, or just under 2 weeks until this gets released. So no, it's not on Tuesday, it's the following week after, so we've got about 10 days now before we'll be able to actually get hands-on and play these maps in the game. Now, as with regard to the last map, the fourth one being Muravanka, this is another map. It does have two kind of modes. It used to have an Arctic mode, for those of you that didn't know. It's like Muravanka Winter. I believe it's on World of Tanks PC as a winter map. I don't think, oh no, there is actually both modes even. I don't know if there's actually a winter one on PC, but basically it is the exact same map. It has this magical forest over here, which they coined in PC, and then we have this area over here where a lot of the heavy tank fighting goes on. Base number 1 is up here, base number 2 is here. We've got a cap circle in encounter that tends to be here in between. Don't know if they'll change it, or even if we'll have encounter on this game. On this map even. There's a big town area in here, but you don't ever go in the centre of the map, at the beginning at least. You have this area for the medium and light tanks, and occasionally you get a heavy tank with good gun depression coming over here as well, and fairly decent mobility. I wouldn't suggest being in a Maus and going over here, it's not a good option. You tend to get people camping in TDs at the back up in this top right corner, as well as in the top left corner, shooting at people in the heavies, progressing into this area here. Essentially, if you're in a faster mobile heavy with support, you want to be getting into the center bit here to be able to get close to the opposite ridge, and therefore fight on this corner or this corner, depending on what side you're on. You want to be on the opposite side of where you spawn, essentially hugging that ridge line to keep avoiding the shells that might be coming in from the magical forest, especially if they win it. Essentially, what you want to do in terms of tactics on this map, if you have pushed into this area on the left-hand side of the map and the enemy team of one, you essentially just want to move back to your spawn area and then get vision on people that are crossing this massive open field and the massive kind of area in the middle, and of course try and protect yourself from the people on the left. But occasionally you'll actually just have no choice but just to lose, because if the enemy win this flank and this flank, of course you're going to lose because you're going to get sandwiched in your own base, and so it doesn't tend to end very well. This is the forest area. This is also the forest area, I believe. And then you've got like I don't know if they've got a picture of it, to be honest. There's a river. I don't know quite where that is. I think that must be down there. But yeah, it doesn't look like they've actually got a picture of this kind of central bit. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. That's kind of one of the most recognisable areas on Muravanka. But yeah, definitely a great map, and I'm looking forward to it. As far as the final bits of these kind of map updates and the interesting events that are going to be coming on, we have a Halloween mode coming to the game. So yeah, it's something special coming in this soon. I will believe it will probably be at the end of October, and there will be returning with Dead City. This one has had its art upgraded with a lot of new spooky elements thrown into the map. So essentially it is basically Himmelsdorf that's been changed into Dead City. It's kind of just a skimmed version of Himmelsdorf. Ghost Train, of course, makes its return. The icing on the cake, however, it is the heavy fog and lighting effects throughout the map truly sets the Halloween vibe. So it's just essentially a special map version. Often, with this Halloween map, you will actually get essentially the game mode whereby you play in certain of the Halloween tanks being the Lycan, the Bog Horror I believe is a Halloween tank, I'm not entirely sure if it is. You get the Wraith, I think it was the Panzer 58 Mutz with the kind of shield on the front of it. You also get the Kaiju, and you've got a variety of other Halloween tanks. I can't name them all, but I'm sure in the comment section down below you can name some of the other ones that I haven't mentioned. But there are quite a lot of Halloween tanks that you can actually play in, and they tend to get their own kind of boost during this Halloween event, whereby, you know, they go faster or they get a massive gun or something like that, essentially making them cooler, and they tend to actually get some graphical effects within the game mode or the special event mode compared to, you know, the standard game mode that we've had in the past. Now, there is some other things that they've talked about. They do have a number of things I can share in regard to our maps in general for the next update. They're trying to add assault mode into custom games only, which is really good. I don't want the custom assault mode in the game unless we have to have it, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit of an annoying one. At least let us toggle it off if they are going to put it into the live game. And yeah, basically it's looking really, really good. But yeah, it's certainly looking very nice. Won't make any specific notes, but something that we are doing on the level design team is that we're taking certain clans, gamer tags on names that community members associate with, and we're now throwing them into Easter eggs on select maps. Just note that you're not going to see verbatim someone's gamer tag thrown in, but we have gave you guys some good nods. Look forward to more of these in the future. So this is really, really cool, actually. They'll be basically adding in some community contributors sort of thing into the game, not necessarily actual gamer tags or anything like that. So I don't want to be seeing Titan Eclipse written in the game somewhere, but yeah, maybe they'll have an Eclipse thing. I don't know. I very much doubt it, but yeah, there's a lot of older community contributors that I'm sure will get a little feature within some of the maps. And if you do see those when they come into the game on the 28th, if there is anything with me, I don't know if there will be, but yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll well, it'll be a nice nod. But there we go. Hopefully that is a nice update of this news, but we do have some information for next week's update. Of course, this week, however, we did have a few of the changes coming in with the Chinese tank destroyer line. Yes, the win rate has gone up, of course, but that's just because it's a brand new changes, and so most of the older players that already have the tank are going to be jumping into it and playing it because they're veterans and they've played a lot more. They're going to have a higher win rate on average, hence why the win rate has jumped up. Not necessarily because the tank has become super OP, but yeah, maybe it is actually much better. I don't know. Average damage has gone up. Well, that's just related to the veteran players probably playing it more, and the daily battle count hit an all-time record high, which is not that surprising because, you know, how many people actually went for the WZ111G FT, considering it is just kind of a worse 268 version 4, I believe. Yeah, the like kind of armoured Object 268. Rambo's Urban Commander skin is the most popular. Last chance for Hot Wheels tanks Monster Fangula and Dead Dozer, and so they will not be back for Halloween this year, or maybe even ever. Not that I like the fact that they always try and put that in there. Yes, they may not ever be allowed again, so you may want to pick them up if you don't want them, but don't buy them just for the sake of it. They are super expensive for just the tank itself. Definitely avoid the SPIC versions of the tank, the tier 8 premiums, because they are essentially just a premium version of the Tech Tree tank. They're not particularly that much better. They are really nice, the Tiger Shark and things like that, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily spend that much on a tier 8 light tank that they're asking for in the packages and bundles. And then, of course, the Talk Like a Pirate Day event. Next week, so this is kind of the area of the videos that most people enjoy the most, I guess, seeing what's coming up very soon. And that is multi-base assault mode will be removed from random battles rotation, possibly the 21st or 28th date to be decided. So if you do enjoy multi-battle assault mode, it is leaving the game. Fantastic for me. Really do appreciate that from Wargaming. I think that it just didn't work too much. It wasn't the most horrific thing I've seen in the game, and I certainly would have rather seen other things leave the game quicker, but I guess it's good that they're taking the stance from some of the super testers, and yeah, thanks very much for removing that from the games, considering it would have probably been an overwhelming majority that didn't like it. We also have a new premium tank, the M4a1 Fl, the French tier 6 auto-loading medium tank that is very, very nice. Don't know how well it will play in game. Of course, I'll try and get a review out for you on that tank as and when it gets dropped on Tuesday. Eastern Sniper Challenge for the Yahtzee, WZ121 GFT, so that's a free tank that you'll be able to pick up if you manage to complete the Urn Challenge. International Day of Peace Emblem and Silver Urn, so you'll be able to get some silver and emblems. You know, it's a traditional challenge, you know, it'll be like earn so many XP and then you get the emblem and the silver. It's usually probably 500,000 silver, something like that. It's a nice addition to just playing the game itself. Tier 10 Silver Challenge all weekend next week, so you'll be able to earn a ton of silver. It's usually plus 100% silver, yeah, it is right there, meaning that you'll be able to basically get more silver in a Tier 10 than you will be in a lot of the premium tanks. Yeah, really, really nice event, and all you have to do is just deal either 500 damage, assist 500 damage, or detect 2 or more enemies tanks in a surviving battle. So do any one of those and you'll be able to get the 100% silver. So it's essentially deal one shot of damage for the majority of tanks at tier 10. Yeah, it's not particularly a very hard one to do. Talked about for the next kind of updates coming in, the next version update, so 7.0, 6.0, stuff like that, the big updates that come into World of Tanks, that will be on September 28th, so 2 weeks time or 10 days time. You'll be able to get the new update with various improvements. I would expect that the horizontal tech tree comes back to the game, premium tanks for free XP event, which means that you'll be able to pick up loads of premium tanks for free XP, so if you've got that saved up, then yeah, that's going to be good for you. New medal and emblems for Oktoberfest, earnable in challenges, so you'll be able to get those. The next tanks reforged will be the Swedish tank destroyers, which is very nice. I think that, I don't know what they'll do with them, because to be honest, I think the design itself is just kind of what makes them a little bit tedious in the game. 4 art upgraded maps, so the maps that we talked about at the beginning. We've got Hellfire Pass will remain in custom games for another community playtest, and more information on this will be released soon. The 4th Marks of Excellence will come into the game, and if you want to check out my absolute travesty where I got to 100% thinking that they were already in the game, don't know why I thought that, but yeah, I potentially got scammed by myself. Yeah, Oh god, that was annoying, but yeah, essentially, if you want to get the 4th mark of excellence, then you will be able to in this next update, I believe, when it comes out, whenever that is, on the 28th. Hopefully, that will actually be in the game, and I can play one game in the Excalibur and get my 4th marks of excellence straight away. More information on the next update will follow next week, and Googly Eye Enthusiast by region. This is for the tanks, you can put the googly eyes on. Apparently the Americans are following up with 71,000 of them. EU have 58,000, and I think this is China and Indonesia and stuff like that have 17,000. I'm not entirely sure if that's correct. The CIS region, I don't know, but I would assume that it is just the eastern areas of the world. And Teutonic Stinger Challenge, 32,500 players have earned the Rheinmetall Scorpion G, which is very nice for those of you who are interested in it. Tankman Pride earn up for the Soviet skins, 41,000 people got that. Honouring Heroes Challenge, 42,000. And then, player reports and bans, we do a pass on player reports weekly. We do see that comments from players asking if reporting someone even does anything. Yes, it does. However, they have to do it individually. So although you may report someone, it does take a little bit of time to be able to actually get them. And the sanctions last week, or this week as of the recording of this video, bad language, 21 players have been banned, unsporting behaviour, 109 players were banned, harassment, 36, and idle/bot were 26. RE 2.0 is still in deep discussion, so they're still discussing whether artillery should be nerfed or balanced or whatever, and looking interesting. And the PC Yo tanks that you may have seen in Quickie Baby's most recent video on World of Tanks PC, that Yo tanks will potentially be coming in the future, and that Wargaming console will be able to actually put that into World of Tanks very, very soon, or not in very soon, but in the future. So I would expect maybe in the next year we may get the Yo tanks, not entirely sure. But of course we've got things like the double-barreled tanks, the French light-wheeled vehicles to come into the game, and I think they've got multi-turreted tanks or something that they talked about a while back. Don't know when any of that is going to be coming in, or maybe we'll even get that leaked sometime soon. Don't know. I don't really know when, or hopefully that's soon. But yeah, we are aware that issues with light tanks in Cold War, particularly in Era 2, we can look at a short-term fix for this. Eventually this will work itself out when more tank lines come into the game. I've told you this, that it will probably happen. They can't really do too much when they've sold a premium tank, because you know how Wargaming be, they can't nerf something someone's actually paid for, even though it should actually be in the game, or should have been changed. They're going to increase the amount of time that the matchmaker needs to find a balanced game, so essentially they're going to try and wait 30 more seconds if it means that there aren't going to be 8 armadillos in one match. This could help in giving the matchmaker more time to avoid a soft fail, whereby one side has 6 armadillos, the other side has 4 armadillos, and so you're just ending up with just this horrible outweighing of just YOLO in the middle of the map going 100 kilometers an hour and just spamming rounds into each other. Yeah, it's not particularly very fun. Customization for commanders is coming soon. Yay, we definitely really needed that. Go over some other things. More 3D commanders are being released soon, which will offer further diversity. Okay. And Extra Life 2021 is set for the 6th and 7th of November this year, and it's going to be mint, apparently. All other images can be found here, so we'll have a look at those right now, and then we'll wrap the video up at the end. This is the M4a1 Fl10, so it's like an AMX 1375 turret with a M4 Sherman hull. It's of course at tier 6, and yeah, it looks very, very nice in the game. Looking forward to getting my hands on this to give it a go. Whether or not it'll be overpowered, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but there we go. Hopefully you did enjoy this update news video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and of course thank you for watching this video to this point, and thank you all to the channel members as well, and I hope to see you in the next video. Check out this video on screen right now, and yeah, goodbye.